Hey, family. Hello. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We are in for a treat today. Are we ready or are we ready? Oh, my goodness. We are getting ready to spruce it up a little bit on the show. How about that? Are we ready? I hope everybody is have an amazing day on purpose today. We're going to talk about some great, amazing subjects coming up within the next few weeks. And we are getting ready to put a little attention on this government. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I appreciate everybody that's tuning in. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much for coming on in and spending some time with me. Let's chat. Let's have a chat today. You guys see the title, Blog Talk. I'm gonna give you the number. Okay, so if you guys want to call in, you can. And it's what 563-999-3682. Again, it's 563-999-3682. Are you ready for this amazing topic today? And like I said, we are getting ready to switch some things up and talk about some very important matters of the heart, matters of white America. Okay. You guys see the title, and it's when people in power misuse their authority. On Block Talk, you guys have to go into the changing of the gods first. The changing of the gods first, and then you guys can pull up when people in power misuse their authority. What happens when we have people in charge that vow to protect and serve, that say that everybody is the same and we're going to treat everybody the same and we're going to do this and we're going to do this for? What do we do when that fails, when that's not happening, and you have one set of people that are being murdered, okay, or jailed for trying to fight against white supremacy or white supremacy system? Welcome, 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 welcome. What do we do when we have a system that is set up against you, Black family? What do we do and how do we handle this system? How do we handle this? Okay, because that's what we're looking at right now. We're looking at some situations here, and every time we raise our head to fight against white America or white supremacy, the system, they pull rank and they'll create a law. They'll create a law. Okay, for instance, the law that they just created was that impacted NFAC. There was a law that they just came up with in June 20th, if I'm not mistaken, this year. But before then, NFAC had went into Georgia, right? They marched into Georgia and they were armed. Okay, we're used to seeing this, okay, but we're used to seeing it with white boys, right? But no laws have been created. Remember back in wintertime? No, I'm not even going to say that. Summertime, you had a group of white boys that stormed into a court building, right? Now, if I'm not mistaken, I could have sworn that it was illegal for you to be armed in a court building. Okay, you know how you go through the little, the whatever, the detectors, okay? And they beat, and they'll check you and say, hey, are you armed? Do you have any knives? You can't bring, they'll tell you no cell phones, no this, that, and the other. But you had the white militia that was armed that brought in weapons into a court building. Now, mind you, nobody was threatened. Nobody felt any danger. Nobody felt that they were going to get shot. Nobody had any issues, right? Why? Why is it okay for one and not the other? But yet you had a black militia that has, on my understanding, every time they went into a city, they would let the police know we're coming, right? They try to do everything by the book, okay? But now we see our brother being brought up on some, okay, some fishy charges, right? Answer me this. Why is it okay for one and not the other? I'm trying to understand something. You have a system that says you looking at this system and you looking at this system work okay for KKK. We're looking at the system that works okay for the Boogaloo Boys. We're looking at a system that has worked well for white people. But when you see that same system that's set up, you see it going against black men with guns, black folk with guns. Why? Why? Let's talk about that. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about it. Welcome, Andre. Welcome, Hamid. Welcome, brother. Welcome. It is time for us to face some real issues here. Let's get honest and let's talk about it. Because you created a law just for, or just to bring up our brother on some charges, okay? You brought up charges, Mr. Russell Coleman, right? That's his name, right? And he developed those charges just for one certain person, because the certain charge has not been used since. And other things have been happening since then. And you wrote the charge in June. And then the person went there in August. I think NFAC went in Georgia in August. But you came back in what, December, and arrested him for something? But my thing is, what are we going to do about it? And why do I say we? Because just like I'm on here talking, if you could call me extremist, right? Whole lot of black folk on here talking about racism in America. But to them, we're called extremists, right? But we're putting it in your face because America is racist. We all know that. But we as a group of people, what are we going to do about it? Because guess what? If we allow this for one, then guess what? When they come after you, what do you want us to do for you? We have to do one for another. Whatever they do for one, we have to support each other. And I don't see that being done. That is bothering me. People say, well, he shouldn't have did blah, blah, blah. It doesn't matter. You are doing your gift. He's doing his gift. I'm doing my gift. You can't say what's my gift and what's not. I can't say what's your gift and what's not. And you can't say what's his gift and what's not. Everybody has their part. But if we, as a group of people, allow this to happen, what's going to happen when they come after you? We have to stop this. At some point, we have to get to a point where we are protecting our own. This is a whole system. And it's the sad part about it is that we have a government that goes against their own. We have a whole government. Let's think about back in 1920 when it was Black Wall Street. Did they not bomb a city, a whole city? Did they not bomb a whole city, you guys? Yes. It didn't just happen in 1920. It happened a few years ago, 1985. They bombed a city in Philadelphia, okay? And it was a group that was called the Move, M-O-V-E. And they called him an extremist, terrorist. Anytime you want to step up and talk out loud about the government's racist tactics, you're labeled. You're labeled. Because you won't sit up and let them knock your head in. You won't sit up and let them lock you up. You won't sit up and let them beat the hell out you. You're labeled. No, it is time for us to do something. It is time for us. And I'm not talking about picking up arms. I'm not talking about that. I am talking about us voicing our opinions and voicing on our websites. We have, yes, the Move. We have people with YouTube channels. Everybody should be making noise about this, because if we allow this for one brother, what's going to happen when they come out after the next person? They are trying to do this to see what Black folk going to do now. Are we going to stop the movement? Are they going to sit down and shut up? Are they not going to talk? What are we going to do? What are we going to do? A whole government bombed that Philadelphia city in 1985. How many people died? 11, I think. It was 5 children. Okay, and the rest of those. Like 6 row houses bombed. 6 row houses got blew up. Okay, and you had like 250 people that was homeless because of what? 11 people that was in the move called the move, and they weren't doing anything but speaking out against racism in America. And it's time. So we can't talk about you doing wrong, but you want to put us in jail. You want to kill us when we talk about, hey, it's time to talk about this, America. Martin Luther King died for talking about what? Racism. Medgar Evers died for doing what? The same thing. And we have others that died bringing to America's attention the racism in America. Why is it that when we see an injustice, we can't speak up about it? We can't do anything about it? After all, we were here first, right? We were here first. They came from the Caucasus Mountains somewhere and took over America. But Black folk was here first. So when they tell you to go back to Africa, no, you tell them to go to hell back to the Caucasus Mountains. I'm just saying. Because we were here first. We built this right here. So what is it, Black family? How are we going to handle this? What are we going to do about it? Without guns, they wouldn't get, okay. But guess what? Yep. But they're trying to get rid of us with the guns. They're trying to get rid of Black folk with the guns. They're not going to, NRA has said nothing about this. But you go on creating laws, and that's the problem. California, when the Black Panthers came out, they created laws against the Black Panthers, didn't they? Yes, they did. They created laws against them. And these laws stated that they can't even carry guns in California. They so afraid of Black folk having guns. But my thing is, if you treat folk right, you wouldn't have to be afraid of Black folk having guns. Let's discuss this issue. Let's talk about it, America. Let's talk about the racism that's going on. Let's talk about the two sets of laws. You have one for Black folk, you have one for white people. Let's talk about it. It's time for us to be honest here. This is a subject that nobody wants to talk about, but we're going to touch it, we're going to talk about it, and we are going to tear it apart, because it is time for us to come together and do something different. We've marched, no more marching. Now it's time to put it in their face. Everybody needs to be talking about this issue. Everybody needs to be tearing this racist system down. And it's a racist system. When we do something, we get the book thrown at us. Okay, let's talk about, we get the book. The Amber Geiger broke into Botham Jean's apartment, and I say broke into his apartment, murdered him in his own home and got 10 years. But if that was me breaking into, or a Black person breaking into Amber Geiger's apartment, they would have gotten life. They would have gotten, what, 20, 30, 40 years, life, maybe? I'm just saying. They got 2 sets of laws, Jim Crow laws, okay? They still exist. You have laws still on the books that they said don't, but they still go by those laws. Just like there's a law in Virginia that said in slavery time that if you killed a slave, disciplining them, you won't come up on any felony charges. That still exists. You don't understand, Black family. They still see you as property. They still see you as slaves until we do what we have to do. And I'm not saying I believe in arming. I believe that we should have something with us all the time. I do believe that, because the culture is so toxic right now. You'd be crazy not to. But until we do that, you're alone, and they'll see you as a piece of property. Okay, it's almost like you do is that, you get yours, they have theirs, then it's almost like you're seen as equal. But my thing is, why do we have to? Why can't we be equal? Because we are here in America that we built. I'm not understanding this. I'm having a hard time with this. We have a brother that's needing some help here, and Black folk who's woke, who say we woke, but because he didn't do it the way you thought he should have done it, Well, I'm not going to protect him. I'm not going to back him. I'm not going to. Okay, but you want somebody to protect you. You want somebody to back you. But we got a whole brother over here that stuck his neck out for black people. But I'm going to tell you what, this right here, this movement, if you let it die, it's not going to happen again. If you let it die, it's not going to happen again. We have to get mad when they touch one. I remember we were little. I had cousins. And my aunt taught, when they touch one, they touch all. You all jump in it. Don't one come back here talking about the other ran or the other was fighting and the other got beat up because you didn't help. No, everybody fought. When one fought, you touch the whole family. The whole family fought. Why is that not true for black family today? Why is that not true? Why are we so into this? Well, you do you, I'm gonna do me. It's not impacting my household, so I don't care. I'm gonna sit over here. I'm gonna have my head in the sand. Nobody will see me. Nobody will care. Nobody will do anything. I'm gonna be over here. You be over there. You do you, and I'm gonna do me. Why is it like that? It used to be like that. What happened? What happened? Let me read some of the comments. What happened? Yeah, I wish they would give us what's old and let us go. But you know what? They're not gonna do that. But you know why? Because they lazy and they'll have to do the work. They'll have to work at McDonald's. Who's gonna work at McDonald's? Who's gonna work at Walmart if they let black folk go? Who's gonna do the work? Instead of us getting our heads together and getting our own and supporting our own and doing our own, we won't do that. We'll sit up here and understand and see the system is jacked up and try to live in a jacked up, messed up, traumatized system. Why? Why is that okay? Why is it okay to see what we're seeing and we're not doing anything? Why is it okay to have such a racist system in a racist country and we not do anything? Does that not bother anybody? When we have people in power that's misusing their authority, like Mr. Russell Coleman, okay, this is the one that came up with this law. What about when they still land the land? You know, they've done so much to black people. And then they justify it. It's always the justification of why we did it. You just had a black doctor that died, right? What they do, they justified it. Said, "Oh, she intimidated the staff." Give me a freaking. What do you mean intimidate? Don't you know how to work with hard people? When people are sick, they tend to be okay, angry, upset because of pain. She was on her deathbed, and you get mad because she was trying to call you out and make you do the right thing for her. It's always going to be an excuse of why our one of us die. Just like when our children, they gun them down. They can have a gun in the car. So what? Texas is a right to carry state, right? As long as you have a permit in some states, depending on your laws in your state, you can carry a weapon. Why is it so foreign when white folk, when we have guns or when we carry our weapons? Why is that so foreign? This is what black folk got to get over. We have got to get over and protect yourself. And I'm not saying start anything, but finish it. I'm saying protect yourself at any cost in your family, people. We used to do this. I don't know what happened. I don't know why, how, where did we get so chicken? I don't understand. What happened? What happened? You know, I'm telling you what happened. Because every time they murder one of you, they put it on TV and they put it in your spirit, and that's all you see over and over and over. George Floyd, all you see was that man was under that man's under the police officer's knee, right? That's all we saw. We kept seeing it over and over. They drilling it into your head. This is what's gonna happen if you step out of line. This is what's gonna happen if you do this. This is what's gonna happen if you do. They drill it and they drill it and they've been drilling it. Turn off the TV. You don't need to see that. You need to know that I'm gonna handle my business. Just like this little girl who blamed this little 14-year-old boy for stealing her iPhone, and she wasn't even a person didn't have a room in the hotel. She wasn't a guest in the hotel. She just came in from off the streets, saw this little boy with his iPhone in his hand, and she said, "That's my iPhone. This is what these crackers do." But what if his dad wasn't there? That's what I want to talk about. What if his dad wasn't there? What if his dad wasn't there? His mom wasn't there, but his dad was, thank God. But what if he wasn't? Would that story have been different? Would she have lied more? Yes, she would have lied. Yes, she would have told him. Yes, they would have taken his phone and given it back to that white girl, which wasn't her phone in the first place. But my thing is, we have to start looking at what is it and how do we change things for us? How do we step the record straight? How do we do this to where we are getting the justice that we need? What do we need to do? Do we need more lawsuits? Because right now, I think because that little Neanderthal, she jumped on the dad's back or jumped on the boy's back, or she assaulted one of them. Bring her ass up on charges. It's time. I know we're not forgiven. I don't want to hear it. I don't care why you did it. And the mom said, "Oh yeah, I just want to know." I don't want to know. I want her to get brought up on some charges. I want her to go to jail, plain and simple. I don't care why she did it. I just want her to know that it won't be tolerated. And this is what Black folk need to get to the point. I don't need to know. I don't need an explanation. I don't care for it to have a reason. I don't want to hear your forgiveness. I just want to let's set the record straight that this is what's going to happen when you approach me in mine. Let's set the record straight, because it's time for us to get it together where they know that this action can be expected when you step out of line with us. And too many times these Karens, I seen one standing in front of one lady's car and wouldn't even let her move. You got a car, and this heifer standing in front of a car, not allowing you to move, really? And you're standing there, and you sitting in your car, and she's standing in front of your car, and you can't move your car because she's standing in front of it. I'm just saying. I don't know where. I don't know where. I don't know what's going on with us. I don't know. I'm thinking about different cases. Okay, I seen a case where a black man been in jail for 40 years. 40 years. Got released because he didn't do it. It took 40 years for them to find out that this black man wasn't guilty. 40 years. We need to look at this. This is why I tell you, this is why this defense was so important. And it's still important. I believe that we need a defense, an investigative defense. I believe we need a team out here nationwide to investigate these hangings, because we're going to go over. Do you not know that 6 of the Kentucky Michael Brown activists have died? 6. Okay. And the ones, it's like 2 or 3 in the Breonna case, activists that have died mysteriously. Either they were what's the one guy was shot in the head and the car set on fire. Another one's burned in the car. Another reverend, he got into his car and a snake, they had a 6-foot python in his car. Now, how'd that get there? I'm just saying. We have to understand, we have to look at this. What about the Joshua Brown that died? He testified at Botham Jean's case, right? He didn't want to testify. He was worried about his life. He was really scared. And he had moved to California, and they told him, "We need you to come back," because they wanted him to testify. And he didn't want to come back. They ended up threatening him, so he ended up coming back. He testified on Wednesday, and he was dead on Friday. And then they had the nerves to say it was due to a drug that he was involved in. Now, some drug dealers that came down from Louisiana. Listen to this slide. Louisiana is a state where you can buy drugs for free, okay? Texas is not. So you have 2 thugs that came down from Louisiana to buy drugs from him. But you're already in a state that is free legally to buy drugs. Nobody in Louisiana had drugs for you to buy from. So you come all the way to Texas. You pay us how many states to get to Texas to buy drugs from Joshua Brown? Now, you know I don't believe that. And I know you don't believe it. And then they say he was shot in his mouth. I don't know if that's true or not. But wouldn't that be suspicious? Wouldn't that be suspicious? You're not going to tell me that law enforcement didn't have anything to do with that. This is why we said when people in power misuse their authority. And we know a lot of these cases where these young men are being hung. Do you really believe that the black folk hanging themselves? Do you really believe that? But what they call it, oh, it's suicide. We need our own investigative team. We need our own defense team. And I do believe that NFAC was onto something with our own NFAC defense team nationwide. We might not like how the brother was doing stuff, but that's one of ours. And we need to protect ours. You step out and you're sticking your neck out. We need to protect our brother. I don't care if you like him or not. And this is why we have to understand the white supremacy in us. We have to start recognizing the white supremacists that's in us. I was walking around the other day, and it was some guys, and they was, it's a couple stories, but I'm just trying to see which one. It was some guys, and they was walking, right? And when they walked past me, I was like, I'm looking, but I had to catch myself, because that's something that was in us, black folk. That's something that's been put into us. We have to understand that. We have to recognize the white supremacy in us and deal with it, because we've been around them for so long and we've been traumatized for so long, you guys, that we are now, I don't even think that we recognize it or not. Some people say, no, I'm not going to protect him, but I don't understand why. That's one of ours. Why? Tell me why. I don't understand. Because guess what? If you was in that predicament, because we all here talking, we all on here, trying to combat this white supremacy, this racism, right, in America. So what do you want us to do when they come after you? I'm just saying. They came after our brother, and we said, we're not going to protect him. I don't understand that. I have an issue with that. Because for one, if it was you, I would protect you. I'd be on here talking the same way I'm doing now. We need to come together and we need to blow this computer up. We need to put racism in America on blast. We need for them to deal with it. We need this conversation to come forth. We need to understand, why is it okay for white boys to go in a courtroom with guns in hand and nothing's done? But then we have a brother that stepped out to fight to combat racism. And that's really what it was. It's to combat racism. So they develop a law to shut him down, to shut the movement down. And we're okay with that? Really? I'm offended. I am. I'm disappointed, for one, because I expect more from Black people, especially Black B1 folk. We're supposed to have each other's back. We're supposed to. My thing is, R. Kelly, I don't agree with what he did, but guess what? I'm not going to let another white person come and destroy him and talk noise against him. I don't say I approve of what he did, no. But guess what? I'm not going against my own for them. That's really how I feel. I would never go against my own for them. I don't know Jay personally, so I don't know what he is or what he's not. I don't know his training, but I know he's Black. I know he's B1. That's my concern. If he's B1, then I got you. That's anybody that's Black first. Because it's levels to this thing, okay? I was talking to a guy at work the other day, and we were talking to, now this guy, he say, oh, I'm Black first, Black first, Black first. That's all he talks about. When I went up to him and I talked to him about the vaccination, he said, I want to take it. Wow. I was like, I thought he was joking, so I was like, yeah, go ahead and, take the vaccine and write it down, give us the, the 411 and 911 on it, let us know how your symptoms and let us know if you drop dead. And I asked him, I said, your insurance paid up? I said, because I'll be your beneficiary if it's not. I'm just saying. But I was shocked at this brother who was B1. He said he's going to take the vaccination. I was floored because I thought he was down. I'm like, this, but here we go again. We have to recognize, we have to, and this is dividing the wheat from the tares, okay? This is where the wheat, this is how Yahshua is going to divide the wheat from the tares. And I do believe that vaccination is part of the beast. I do believe that. I believe once you take it, you're done. I do believe that. I believe that you may not see any symptoms now. And some people are, because one young lady, her face was all contorted, okay? And she had something now that she developed after taking the vaccine. But you can trust the government, whose history has not been very good for Black people. And you can go back in the history book and look up how they treated us. Now, you can look back in yesterday. Didn't a police officer, or last month or a couple of weeks ago, I'm sure some Black folk was gunned down, murdered, with just like Breonna, her case. Those officers are now getting ready to get fired, but they gave them a warning. So they, in fact, have an opportunity to quit. So why would you give them an opportunity to quit and just not fire them so that they can work for another police station now? So that's why they gave them a warning. We're getting ready to fire you, so if you want to quit now and go work for somewhere else, you can. That's what kind of crap we're working with in America. With the KKK, racist KKK in America. Defund, dismantle, that whole foundation needs to fall to the ground, and let's rebuild it from the ground up, because it's done. That whole foundation is done. When you have a government that backs this mess, it'll never stop. So how do you handle thugs with guns who have a badge and who stand behind the badge and legally murder Black people? Legally. Now, you had a couple weeks ago, you had a white guy that was in a van and they stopped him. He had a weapon. He talked about had a weapon. And they begged him, legally begged him. They literally begged this dude to put the weapon down. They begged him. They didn't shoot him, didn't tase him. They begged him to put the weapon down. And he had a gun in hand and everything. Please, please, please. I mean, you should have heard him. I'm like, what the what? I've never heard that. I was shocked. I've never heard police officers beg anybody. I've never heard anybody beg. I've never heard police officers beg anybody to put a gun down. But if he was black, you know he would have been dead, right? You know he would have been dead, right? So why was he given so many chances? Let's talk about that. Why was he given so many chances? Shouldn't have been, because guess what? When you do a law, it should be across the board. Should be across the board, but it's not. It should have been across the board. If you're going to shoot, they should have shot. If you're going to arrest, they should have arrested. Whatever the law, legally, whatever it is, legally. Legally for us, you see a weapon, you're dead. Or at least they're going to try to kill you. Jacob, poor Jacob, he just crippled. He didn't die, but he crippled. He probably wish he was dead because he can't move. He's paralyzed. Shot him 7 times in the back. Why would you have to shoot anybody 7 times in the back? 7 times. I digress. I'm just saying. It just makes no sense. And anytime you have a person running away from you, the threat is gone, right? So why are they shooting these guys in the back now? Once the threat is gone, you have no business shooting them. What happened to the guy they just ran over with the car? The sheriff just ran him over with the car, right? Why? Because he was running? Did you have his address? You can get the guy later. You don't have to kill him. You don't have to run him over. Go to his house later and arrest him. You got to have him right now. You got to have that person right now. Right this minute. I just don't understand this. I'm trying to understand this. There's a movie out that I want to see, and it's called American Skin. And it's literally about a police officer. I'm not going to tell you everything about it, but excuse me, it's about a police officer that shoots a son, a black father, and the son was riding, and he literally shoots the son. He had a cell phone in his hand. He shoots the son, and it goes from there. I really want to see that movie. That's going to be a topic, a really good topic that we need to really, I think that's a great movie, and we need to see it. Okay. What really bothers me over the whole, let me read some comments. Hold on, you guys. Let me see. What's comments? Okay. Okay. Let's talk about that one. I see somebody say if he's an agent. Okay, let's talk about that. Let's talk about that. Okay. Okay, even if slow. Okay. Okay. Somebody said something about Maurice. You say he's an agent. How do you know? I don't know him. I don't know him personally. Do you know him personally? What makes you? I've been hearing this, but how are agents? Do FBI do agents this way? I'm not understanding. People keep still saying he's an agent. How do you know that? Do you know him personally, or are you going by what somebody told you? I don't go by what people tell me. I have to go by my heart, my feelings, my spirit. I have to go by what I'm seeing. I can't go by what people say stuff all the time. They said something about Jesus, didn't they? But what you gonna not worship because they they said he's da da da. Come on, you guys. What is that? What is that? How do you know? Do you have proof? Show me proof that he's an agent. I need to see proof. Send me proof. Send me his agent number. Send me how he's connected here. He's connected here. Show me some proof. I hear that all the time, and nobody shows me proof. I hear what people say. I don't go by what people say. I'm smarter than that. I don't care what people say. I need to see it for myself. Agents, I don't think they do agents this way. We could have been, he had 3,000 people that went down to Kentucky. Louisville. I'm sorry, Louisville. He had 3,000 members. He could have set you up right then and there if he wanted to do something, because they was all surrounded him. Okay, Boogaloo Boys down the street. He could have really set you guys up for something, but did he? No. What are you getting? I don't understand this agent stuff. I don't understand it. Give me proof. Show me something. Okay, let me see. Of course, no charges. That makes me see. This is what I'm saying. Okay, told you to check it out. Let's see. Yes, Andre, you did tell me. I'm gonna check it out. I am. I'm gonna check that movie out. I saw it the other day, but I'm gonna check it out. But yeah, he's our brother. And just like Brother Maurice, that's my brother too. I would tear somebody's head off by him talking about him. I'm just like that. Until you show me different, I got you. And that's how we should be per black people, period. Per black people. I don't know him. I don't know him personally. But we should have enough discernment because you know what the sad part about it when we say that they are agent, but you have Roland Martin who's really an agent, but we follow him faithfully. That's what bothers me. You have other black people that speak about voting, about doing voting for Biden, about going to vote down here in Georgia. And I hope Georgia is going to allow them seats to get taken by the Republicans and let the Republicans give Biden hell for the next 4 years. Give him a freaking heart attack. Make his dementia and Alzheimer's come through. Because guess what? My thing is, it's sickening to understand that you have black folk that voted for racists that did more harm to the black community, to your sons, to your nephews, to your husbands, and you gave him a reward and you gave him the presidency. That makes no sense to me. Make it make sense, family. That's what we look like to these crackers. And then you wonder why they don't have no respect for you. Because what did you just do? You gave a man that told you, I'm not going to do anything for you. You gave him a pass, but you won't give your own brother a pass. Really? That bothers me. You gave Biden a pass who showed you never right his wrongs. Never. He apologized. So freaking what? I can say I'm sorry and be giving you the fingers all at the same time. So what? But you gave him a pass. But you got a brother here that needs some help and you won't give him one? Really? That's sad. That's actually disgusting. And then black folk wonder why we won't get reparations. You don't need reparations. You need nothing. You need exactly what you asked Biden for, nothing. Ice Cube came to you with a contract. You jumped on his balls and said, why are you asking for a contract? Why are you asking for anything? We can't ask for nothing until they get in office. What do you mean? That's just like you taking your car to the shop and saying, I'm going to pay you the bill. What's the bill? And they give give us $3,000. You give them $3,000 and they ain't done no work. Did that make sense what I just said? That's what we did for Biden. We gave him a pass. But yet our brother needs us. He's not showing me any signs of being an agent. But you're going to turn your back. He stuck his neck out and we'll turn our backs on our brother. I'm disappointed because I thought we knew better. I thought we were ready to come together and be one. We say we be one. Are we? Really? What's that mean to be one, to be one? Obviously, people don't understand what that word means. That means to have your brother's back. That means that I'll have your back. And that means if something happened, you'll have mine. I'm scared that something happened to me. Ain't nobody gonna have my back. Oh my God, what am I doing? That's sad. Because somebody said, oh, Cassie was an agent. She was on there talking, and you know what? I seen her take a picture over there with Trump's daughter. And we could have just been in the same store at the same time, and I not even know her, but I was just standing at the counter with her beside her, and they said, oh, look at her. She was a traitor. She was with Trump's daughter. Really? I don't even know Trump's daughter. But I'm just saying, that's how foolish it sounds. But that's how we look at stuff. But that's because of what's in us. We got to check what's in us. We are full of white supremacy ideas. I can talk to people, and they said about Biden, and they said, oh, he apologized. Seriously? That's all he had to do was apologize? I said, what did he offer you? Well, we'll see. Well, what do you mean you'll see? Did he say while he was running for office that I'm going to give black folk this? He said, I'm getting ready to bring 11 million immigrants, and I'm going to give the police who's murdering you $300 million extra. Mind you, these people are already murdering you, but he's getting ready to give them. Y'all must didn't hear that part. But you still gave him a pass. But you're not giving your brother a pass. But we give white supremacy a pass. That's what's sad. I'm just saying, I digress. I'm just saying. Let me see. Let's talk about how our own, okay, Daniel Cameron, Louisville. He went against his own sister, Brianna, when he's in the highest position possible. And he could have protected her. He could have gotten justice for her. But did he? No, he didn't. He told the grand jury what? He didn't bring up the case. He didn't even present the case the right way to them. He covered 3 races. He covered them. And he let his sister dangle in the wind. But then came on there and faked and act like he was sorry. This is how you're going to be able to tell agents. Who are they backing? Whose back are they having? Daniel had those 3 white police officers back. He's married to a white woman. That's how you know that he's an agent. We're so busy and so quick to put our mouth on each other, but yet we have no proof. I have proof of that. And that worries me because we shouldn't act like this with each other. You know what? White folk don't even have to say anything against us, because time somebody step up that want to do something for Black people or want to try to help save Black people, we'll go against them. It's almost like we see it and we go, we just get busy. We just go hard on them. And it's like, why? That's your own. He's trying to free Black people. He's trying to help us deal with racism. He's trying to build a defense for Black people. But we have dogged him out because he's helping Black people, your own. Is that not strange to anybody but me? Okay. Wow. Wow. I'm reading some of the comments, you guys. Yeah, I seen the nurse that had her little face was all contorted and she said she had something. Now, my thing is, Black folk, you sit in that chair if you want to. I'm just saying. Coons, sit in the chair, you good. All the coons line up, sit in the chair, have at it. But B1, I believe B1 knows better. And if you not B1 and you sit in that chair, guess what? It is what it is. How in the world can you think a racist has changed? He's not showing you anything. He's not showing you where he's changed. Am I seeing things that people aren't? What? Is there something wrong with me? Because I see stuff different. I don't see where he's changed nothing. I hear how he talk to Black people. But I'm going to tell you what, I will show his behind. Come Georgia, state of Georgia, don't vote nothing. Let the Republicans have that seat and let them give him hell for the next 4 years. You want to talk to Black people like you crazy? You're not going to sit up there and talk to me like I'm 2. I'm an adult. You talk to me the same way you talk to them crackers. You talk to them Neanderthals like you got some sense. You come and talk to Black folk. You don't talk to Black folk like you done lost your mind, like we your children. We are not your children, Jim Crow Joe. So the same way you talk to them Jews, come talk to Black people, because I'm not listening any other way. You don't come to me with respect, I'm not hearing what you got to say. Okay, now what? We got to start holding people accountable. Okay? These criminals in the government. Now they came up with this little law. I told you about, what was the task force to combat violence, anti-government extremists. That's what they're calling. This is the thing that they came up with. And they called it the task force of combat violence, anti-government extremists. That's what they called it. That's what they calling Black people. What do you call them the KKK? When do you label the KKK? When do you label these people that's hanging Black men who you trying to tell me it's suicide? I'm not buying that. You had 6 activists, 6 that died. 1 was hung outside of his mama's backyard. And you're going to pull his pants down. We all know what that means when you see the boy's pants pulled down. His fists were clutched. Okay, so my thing is, you hanging yourself. Why would you clench your fist like you ready to fight? His fists were clenched. His pants were pulled down past his down to his ankles. That's a white supremacist sign. Okay, so no, you're not gonna tell me that this young man whose mom was an activist, Melissa McKinley, remember? His mom was an activist that he killed himself. They did that to shut her down. They knew how to hurt her. They knew her down wouldn't do nothing. But to get your son to touch her child, oh, that's what they did. But I'm gonna tell you what, it wouldn't have been good for Kentucky. I'm gonna tell you what. I'm just saying. I'm sick of this craziness. Six activists died mysteriously. And you mean to tell me we can't never find nothing when it's black folk? But I guarantee you, if it was somebody white, they'd found something. Don't we got some satellites up in the? Don't we got some satellite cameras up there in space or something that's taking some pictures or something? You're not gonna tell me that you can't find who's committing these suicides. Black folk don't know how. I don't know how to tie no noose. I'm just saying, black folk don't know how to tie nooses. Exactly. They want to talk to us all crazy. No, we had a young lady that was Ice Cube came on Dr. Boris's, and he was talking about the black contract, right? And she for black people, and she was cussing up a sailor. I mean, this black woman was cussing like she was crazy, and I'm like, what is the why do we have to disrespect ourselves when we come on there? Why can't we? Excuse me. Why can't we talk like we have some sense? Why can't we talk respectfully? You know what I'm saying? She was on there cussing Ice Cube out. Well, you sell out and you did that. And I'm like, sell out for what? He offering you help. Do we know what help looks like? I don't think we recognize what help looks like. When somebody is offering you a contract and wanting you to take it to the president of the country before you vote for them and say, hey, this is the contract. What can you do? What are you going to offer us before we give you our vote? And you turn around and tell him, oh, boy, shut up. You can't ask for nothing. He ain't in office yet. When do we ask? When do we ask? I was taught to ask before I give you money. I'm going to ask you what services are you going to render to me before I pay you my money. And if you say nothing, then I'm going to keep my money. I'm going to keep my vote, and I'm going to keep everything to myself because you don't deserve it. Because you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. But benign neglect is still here. And now we got COINTELPRO coming. It's starting up again. This COINTELPRO, right? Benign neglect. Ignore black folk. Don't give them nothing. Don't promise them nothing. That's what's happening here. So now they're going to tell us we got to work with the immigrants. We're going to work with who? What? They don't even have papers. Why would we have to work with them? I don't understand that. Why would you tell me I got to work with immigrants who don't even like me? So why do I need to work with them again? They got this thing twisted. But you know what? They talk to us like this because we talk to each other like this. Because as soon as they come up, as soon as a black person coming out trying to defend black people, we tear them apart. We tear them apart. We tore Ice Cube a new booty hole. We tore down NFAC, Grandmaster. We dogged a brother out who was sitting up here trying to protect black people, trying to fight against racism. But we so traumatized. We're not used to nobody stepping out for us. We're not used to nobody stepping up for us. We're not used to nobody taking up for us. We're not used to anybody having our back. So when somebody does, it looks weird. You go, oh my God, it must be something wrong with him. What's wrong with him? Oh my God, be careful. Watch. Oh, he must have got something up his sleeve. You can't be trusted. He's an agent. He's this, he's that. And like, what did you guys see that I didn't see? I must have missed something. When did I miss it? Because I was following the dude. I was following him, listening to Morning Mentos and all of it. I'm looking for the agent. I'm looking for him to slip up because I'm going to catch it, because I'm going to hear it or something. I'm following the dude daily because I want to hear him say, I want some proof that he's an agent. Because I'm hearing everybody say, oh, he's an agent. Tariq Nasheed. Now, y'all listen to Tariq Nasheed, who has done nothing for black people, offer you some mace and some damn socks, and you buying some socks and mace, but you support this brother to no end. So he's not an agent? Tariq Nasheed? This dude don't have he's not B1. He may talk like it, but listen to what he says, you guys. We're going to have to start recognizing. I told you different levels of this B1. You got level A, B, C, and D. Okay? What level are they on? Listen to the levels. Just like I told you, this guy at work was talking about taking the vaccine. That dude on maybe level 2. I thought he was on level 4. That dude down here level 2. I'm just saying, do you have black folk like Mullen Martin, who has nothing in common with, who doesn't care anything about black people? He's just doing it so he can get a spot in the White House. And then look at Al Sharpton. You dude at a zero. He don't even do nothing for black folk. He had on Twitter something about his grandson. I'm like, well, please, I hope and pray that he don't act like his granddaddy. Hope and pray that he has a backbone. Hope and pray that he's going to do something for black people. I'm just saying. We've had plenty of black folk in office. John Lewis, Elijah Cummings, Karen Bass. These people were hardcore in the beginning, but got sold out. And those are the ones that they make our leaders, the ones that they bought and paid for, that they have paid to talk a good game for us. We don't need them talking for us. We don't need the Oprahs of the world talking for us. We need be one talking for us. We need be one to bring this out. We need Jason Black to talk and be, look, this is what we're not going to do. This is how we're not going to treat black people. This is how we're not going to treat black folks. This is how we not. But we got so many people that if one step out and it's not you, you won't support them. And then you got little cliques, B1 cliques. What in the hell is that? What we need a clique for? You got your part, you got your part, I got my part, and we got our part. Let's bring our parts together. Let's make it happen, baby. Let's rock and roll. Let's make this thing happen. Let's bring it all together. But that's not what we do. Of course, Biden will be much worse. Exactly. Biden is going to be so much more worse. He just sold us out to China. Y'all don't even know. Y'all have China agents right here and right now, even in America right now. Y'all don't even know. You got stuff. It was a bomb over there in, was it UK? We had a bomb over there. Was that UK, I think? I listened to a guy, and he was talking, I think it was a bomb over there. If I'm not mistaken, it was in the UK. If I'm not mistaken. It's stuff that's going over here and sees the news. Your white media here is not even talking about. China's here right in this country right now. Soldiers. People not even understand what's really going on here. But I'm going to hope you 2021, I got my popcorn. Y'all better have your popcorn because I'm telling you what, these devils getting ready to get it. For the next 4 years, we're in tribulation. People don't even understand it because you don't even know what you recognize. But this change, you know, when that moon came in on December 21st, you had one moon, met up with the next moon, and the next one on. You had the changing of the gods, and people don't even understand what that means. We got next. We got next. I don't know if you guys can see it or not or feel it, but I can see it. We got next. They trying to destroy us. They're going to destroy themselves. Them devils going to destroy themselves. Wait till January. When do they switch cabinets? If July? Is it January 12th or January 21st when Trump goes out and Biden comes in or whatever? I don't know because there's so much going on because Trump say he cheated. All this stuff is going on. I don't know what, you know, I do believe there was some shenanigans happening with the election, but it's nothing that's not happened before because I believe Trump cheated to get in. So now they cheating him to get him out because he was too loud. Trump and Biden are the same, okay? You just have one that's a little bit more louder that's making the white folk uncomfortable because he acts just like them, but he's just too loud with it. Oh my God, we can't have him that. He's just too loud. It's the same people. Biden is just a little more sneakier, and he's gonna throw the rock and hide his hands and look at y'all like, I didn't do that. The leaders did that. Your black leaders did that. Just like he lied when he made the crime bill and said, oh, your black leaders, they voted on that. The states did that. The states not telling you that I offered the states $30 billion, $30 million, $1 billion. He offered the state money to accept his crime bill, and they did. What state wouldn't? That's how he got his crime bill to pass. I'm just saying. But then blame your black leaders, your black churches, the black caucus. But he had nothing to do with it. But you created it. We're not that dumb, Biden. But this is how he thinks of black people. And this is the same way he thinks of black people is the way he talks to black people. I'm just saying. We have to, this it's just so sad. We have to start holding people accountable, especially the police. They're coming up with false reports. These are people that have what? That's misusing their power. That's in authority. They have these police reports, they falsifying, they lying on, and they still keeping their job. What is going on with the system? Why are we not calling that out? We don't call any of that out. We hear it. Oh, okay. Black men in jail 35. One guy was in there 35 years. Didn't do it. Why is it taking so long? 35 years, 40 years, 15 years, 20 years. It's always a large amount of years. I guarantee you it's more, probably some that died in jail that didn't do the crime, because that's what they did back in the day. This is what your slave catchers did back in the day. These are what we call police officers today. They were slave catchers. That's what they were. That's who they were. And they just switched names, the same job description, and they just switch names. These are men that are in authority, that have vowed to protect and serve, that will change laws, that's hiding behind laws, making up laws to hurt you, making up laws for you to sit down and be still, making up laws to take your guns, making up laws because they can and they don't want you to. So they have two sets of laws. So when black folk do something, you throw the book at them. When white folk do it, it doesn't matter. They get the lightest sentence possible, if at all, if any time. These are legal criminals, your government. And you got a whole lot of them, senators, Congress, legal criminals, who will hold you accountable, but not themselves. They set up here and wrote you a $600 check, like that's supposed to do something, when they wrote themselves a $200,000 check. But these are people that you vote for every year. You vote for them every 2 years. And you allow them to be in the chair for 30 years doing absolutely nothing for you. But you fail to realize that the people has to say. They're supposed to be doing what the people ask them to do. We ask for them to defund and dismantle the police. Give some of that money that you're giving to crooked police officers, crooked racist KKK members in blue. Give some of that money to the mental health units, so that when somebody comes out and their son is acting crazy, or the nephew, and to mental health, call the mental health people instead of police. Call the mental health people, let the mental health person people come get that person, because they know how to deal better with it. Because you don't always need a gun. You don't always need a gun. We need to start investigating some of these officials. I guarantee you, Mr. Russell Coleman got some dirt in his closet, but he wrote a law. Mr. Bill Barr, Mr. Barr, who's the Attorney General for what, United States or whatever. I guarantee you got some dirt in his closet. Let's investigate them. Let's see what kind of dirt they got. Let's see what they've been doing, hiding behind the badge, hiding behind the lawyer's title. Because you know they done all done some dirt and they just getting away with it because they are the law and I say so and I'm white. We have to stand together. Because if we allow what they're doing now to our brother, if we allow it, like they did to the Black Panthers, like they did and blew up Black Wall Street, if we allow it, this is just the first. This is just the first one, just to see how you're gonna act, just see how you're gonna react, and we've not. Okay, go ahead. It's not us. It's not my family member. It's not my brother. It's not my uncle. It's not my cousin. It's okay. We didn't really know him anyway. He wasn't really doing anything anyway. He just kept talking noise and he wasn't doing nothing because he'd shoot him up. You don't want nobody to shoot him up. Just half of y'all ain't got no gun. But y'all gonna need one when Biden and Trump switch office and then white boys come out after y'all and half of y'all don't have no candy bar. Y'all ain't got nothing to protect you. You ain't got your Snickers with you. You're gonna be in trouble. Because you still don't understand the culture you're living in. You still don't understand the racism in America. You still don't understand, because Trump is leaving office, he leaving them demons behind. You still don't understand that, do you? You still thinking these white folk your friends. You still thinking you can trust your enemies and you can call enemies friends. You still thinking that, right? You're about to find out that these demons that's trying to give you a poisonous vaccine shot, who won't have your back, they won't give you anything, they won't do anything for you, but they don't have your back, but you thinking that they got you?
corrupt ghetto uprising.
But you have to understand. You have to understand what's going on. You have to understand what's going on. They want to give you a vaccine, but won't give you reparations. They want to give you a vaccine, but won't make any new laws to put police officers in jail who murder Black men that's running away from them and they shoot them in the back. They won't make any laws to arrest, hold accountable these police officers that's murdering unarmed Black men. And notice they're getting our young babies. They're getting our boys from what, 30 and under who can reproduce because they know that they're not able to reproduce because they know that their days are numbered. So they're trying to get us to the point where our days are numbered. So if they kill our young babies, then who are women gonna marry and have babies with? Who they gonna have babies with? But you have to understand, you have to see the bigger picture, family. And we're not seeing the bigger picture because we think we've gone, we think we're free. You're still slaves, Black folk. If you have a job and you're working for somebody, we're still slaves. Yes, exactly. But they want to give you a vaccine, a poisonous shot. And the sad part about it is Black folks sitting down in them chairs. That's the sad part about it. Black folk, no matter what history white folks show you, they show you every day they hate you. They call you niggas. They show you every day. They shoot you. They doing everything they can to show you how they feel about you, and you still sitting in them chairs faithfully because I'm a pleased master. Sad. I sad. Let's talk about the red, how they were back in the day. Your government stole land from Black folk. How they was building highways in the Black cities, in the Black communities. They would come up with a road, a highway, and come straight, right smack dab between in the Black neighborhood. Redlined. Wouldn't give you loans to fix up your property, but then white folk giving loans, giving them money, giving them homes, giving them property, giving them low interest or no interest at all loans, but wouldn't give you one. And even today, I remember we was trying to buy our house, and they said, "Oh, you can go to one neighborhood, and we're giving you like $25,000." I said, "Oh, let me see." But I knew it was a catch to it. So let me go. Rolled by there, and I looked. You ain't gonna give me $25,000 to live down here, and I'm gonna be dodging bullets, and I'm gonna see prostitutes walking up and down the street, and I'm gonna see drug. I'm not gonna live like that. I don't have to. I don't have to. But you want to give me $25,000 for Black folk to live in a drug infested, rat infested, prostitution everywhere, with police activity, heavy police activity. But you won't give me that same money to go and live where I want to. No, thank you. I'll pass. I don't want anything that the government's giving out. New Orleans had a city, Claiborne Expressway. They built it through a neighborhood. Okay. They called it Gravier, the 7th Ward in New Orleans. A Black community. And they built an expressway right through it. This is what they do to us. Everybody got their own town. China, they got their own Chinatown, right? Everybody, Germans, Jews, they got their own little area, own little city, but Black folk. Why is that? Why they want to take you away from your area and put you and mix you in with your enemy? They get the best of our babies. They brainwash them, and they give them white mentors, and they teach them. Obama, they taught him how to be. Well, he needed to be taught. He grew up already in a white whatever anyway. So they didn't have to teach Obama how to be white. He was already white because he had a white mama. So he did most. He learned most of that living with her. So we see how he was treated by white folk and how he reacted to them. He kissed their behinds because white folk treated Obama like a dog when he was a president. And what did he do? Made excuses for it, didn't he? He still makes excuses for it. Now you got this book out. I wouldn't pay $2 for it. You couldn't even give me the book. I'd burn it. Give it to me. I'm gonna put it right in the trash and burn it in front of his face. Take a picture and send it to him. This is what I think about your book. He did absolutely nothing for Black people and it was a joke that was said that Trump said something about Trump said something about no Biden said something about they was making a joke with Trump and Biden, and I'm probably getting it wrong. Bad at jokes. I'm bad at jokes, so I probably shouldn't even tell it. But anyway, the end of the joke was Obama said they love me too. Biden said something about black folk love me, and Obama said, well, yeah, they love me too, and I didn't do anything for them. I mean, this was I know I tell jokes. I'm horrible at telling jokes, but you get the gist of it. The gist of the joke was that Obama told Biden that it was okay, that they loved him too because he didn't do anything for black people, which he didn't. Which he didn't. I know I'm bad at jokes. Y'all shut up. Don't judge me. I know. Um, really? But it's not mandatory. But guess what? You're gonna make it so mandatory, you're gonna make everything to where you have to have it. So you're not saying it's mandatory, but it is. You're not gonna say it, but everything gonna be connected to you. So they're gonna make you take their poison. That's just like a rat. Okay, you know it's rat poison on rat poison. And say, okay, let's take cigarettes for instance. You know cigarettes are bad for you, but you're gonna smoke anyway. You know it's bad for you, but you're gonna because you won't because you know it's bad for you. You know it causes death. You know it causes harm, but we do them anyway, right? That makes no sense to me. Anyway, I digress with that. And then he was talking about building more highways. I'm like, where? You ain't got no more black communities. I guess in California, in some of those California areas, it is, little black patches. Okay. They talking about building more highways. Okay. And then they talked about the slums. I said, but white folk developed slums, didn't they? White folk created slums for black people, didn't they? And then they left it, wouldn't give you the money to fix it up. They left it nasty. You moved into it, they wouldn't give you the money to fix it up. So guess what? And they took the jobs with them. And you notice when I was little, I grew up in Indiana, and downtown was so pretty when we was little. And then as I got older, I seen the jobs, the businesses going, the jobs went. The slums was created because they took the businesses with them, and black folk didn't have any jobs unless you had to drive to Chicago where you made good money, but you were gone. You had to get up super early, catch a train to work, and you caught the train getting home. You didn't get home about 7 o'clock. Then you had time to spend maybe an hour with your kids. By the time you got dinner, kids went to bed. You did it again the next day, that Monday through Friday. But that's what we had to do in order to make money in Indiana. I grew up in Gary, where Michael Jackson, whatever. Okay, the same city Michael Jackson grew up in, but well, no jobs. It was steel mill, and then as we got older, steel mill went out, and they shipped them somewhere else. So you either retired or you had to find something else to do. Well, that was the major biggest company in Gary was the steel mills at the time. So we had to catch people that did still want to work. They had to catch the train. Okay, but they weren't there. They were never home. But you have to understand this is what happened. This is how slums are created because they won't give you money. They'll redline your area and say, "Oh, we can't give them money, but you can do it for." So don't tell me racism don't still exist. There are racist laws on the books that they still operate in every day, just like our schools. Still racist laws they operate in every day. Tearing down black neighborhoods to build prisons, but you look at it and say, "Oh, we got jobs," but who are they putting behind bars? Family, your children. Then they cut out the school programs, right? We're talking about the same topic. People that have authority. That's you overusing their authority. Okay? These are people with authority. They just closed the YMCA. Okay? Kids go to after school programs for that. They took out the trade, the position, the trade jobs. Remember, you went to back in the day. You went to high school. You second year sophomore. You went to the tech and you learned a trade. You learned how to do hair. You learned how to plumber. You learned how to do electrician. You learned how to weld. You learned how to do all car mechanics. You had a certificate when you came out of school, right? Senior year, you were able to work somewhere or get your own business, right? They took those programs out during Reagan, right? They had after school programs. They had summer programs for our kids to go and swim, and they had so much stuff to do in the summertime. Our kids didn't sit home and play games all day. They sent them to summer school. We were able to swim. We had lunches. We would go there to the gyms when the schools was open, and we play games. That was from maybe 9 to 4, 9 to 3, something like that. So they gave us something to do while our moms was at work, and we stayed there all day. We played basketball, we swam, we played games, we did everything. They closed the schools in summertime. They got rid of all of it. They got rid of all of that stuff. Thank you, honey. So my thing, you understand what I'm saying? That's what they did to us. They took all the programs out of our communities, out of our schools, for our kids to be able to go and not get a job, but get your own business. We have to bring that back, family. This is what I'm saying. We have to learn how to come together and do for self. I just saw a post saying that, okay, Spain, okay, her fake. Yeah, she got her fake shot. Yeah. Guess what? I guarantee you that wasn't the shot that they was gonna give you and I. I saw a picture of Gary, I think, when I first got on Facebook. It was picture. It was beautiful. It made me emotional. Yeah, but Gary ain't like that now. You got a lot of Chicago people came in, got those cheap properties, and it's almost like a little shy town. It's raggedy. It's crime ridden, because you got a lot of people from Chicago to come across the borders, which Gary is maybe 30 minutes from Chicago, 45 minutes at the most, and they came across the border, came across the line, and got those very cheap properties, and now it's gone. It's just a miniature Chicago. Yeah, they had the Gary, what's that, the Career Center. We had the Career Center back in Gary, and we used to go there and get our little degree, get our little certificates. So we were ready, But this is what I'm saying. We have to get back to us. We have to start supporting us. I'm just bringing up some things that's going on with your racist government. This is your racist government. And then how they would take land from people and call it eminent domain. Okay. They will call it eminent domain. That means taking people's land with no cause, because I can, and I'm the government, and I wanted your land, and you wouldn't sell it to me because they offer you money for it at first. And then if you didn't take the money and they want to put a road through it, then they would just take it, come up with an excuse why they took it, and wouldn't give you anything. Sometimes maybe give you something, maybe not. Didn't have to, because they offered you money in the first place. And sometimes, okay, you didn't take the money, now we're going to take it. Okay. I mean, it's just so sad. These are people with badges. These are people with authority. These are people in higher places treating Black folk like dogs. And what do? We give them a pass, but we don't protect our own. That's what I'm saying. God, it's just, let's think about when they had a federal urban renewal programs, okay? When they was taking the lands, they was taking the farmers. I mean, they was taking them farms. That's what they was actually taking, the farms. They unleashed, this was a program that the government unleashed for Black people. And I'm telling you, it was terrible. It was ridiculous. They cleared out the Black neighborhoods. They cleared out the slums, they call them slums, okay? That was produced by them. But that was a program that they used to disperse Black people out into the suburbs. They did that in Cabrini Green in Chicago. It was a project, Cabrini Green. It was really super bad. But they came in and tore them down and dispersed them Negroes to the suburbs. They sure did. Where ain't no buses, so you ain't coming this way if you ain't got no car. And then what did they do? They gentrified downtown and built some high, expensive condos, $300,000, $400,000 condos, like little apartments, and you were allowed to buy them. And a lot of white folk live downtown, and Black folk, they pushed them out to the suburbs. But this is your government, and they still doing it today. They still gentrifying neighborhoods, even today. That's the sad part about it. But these are people in charge. They're supposed to be for everybody. Allowing white police officers to violently patrol Black neighborhoods. I mean, just stealing land, just doing all kinds of crazy stuff to Black folk, and because they can. They call it the Great Land Robbery. 1 million Black families. got ripped off from their farms, taken. You got companies like pension firms, like teacher, the TIAA, okay, holds 80,000 acres, 130 acres in Arkansas, and 130,000 acres in along the Mississippi River. I mean, these are places that hold pension funds that have bought up people's farms, land. They're holding all of this land. What are you holding all this land that you've stolen from Black people because they come up with bad contracts or bad agreements? And one time they gave them they had given them seeds that didn't even work, so they stole their land. This is what America, your government did. These Black folk had farms, land. You see Black folk with nothing now, but you still won't separate from these devils. You still constantly calling them friends. You still looking to them to give you something. What the hell you think Biden gonna give you but a hard time? You've had 45 different presidents who have done absolutely nothing. Name me one law that they've written for Black people. Name me one law that they've written for Black people. You've had 45 presidents. How many have done anything for Black people? None. But we still think number 46 is going to do something for Black people who cause more harm in the Black community than anybody else I can remember besides Reagan and Clinton. Clinton did something too because he wrote a crime bill also. Every last president we had was racist. Even Jimmy Carter, Clinton, who we call the first Black president. Why? Because he sucked a joint. He smoked a joint, didn't inhale or exhale or whatever. I don't even know whatever. And then he played saxophone, but treated Black folk like dogs and ruined Haiti. You don't even understand what he did to Haiti. Haiti was the top country at one point. And he took everything out of Haiti in contract because Haiti did everything in house, and Haiti had it going out. But he had to get Haiti back from what Haiti did to way back in the day in the 18th century with France. I think they kicked their butts, right? But he took everything and contracted it out. His brother did the rice, everything from Haiti. It's gone. That's why Haiti has no money. Haiti is built the way it is. Haiti hates the Clintons. Haiti is a third world country because of the Clintons. Haiti had it going on. Haiti did everything in-house. And he came in and wrote some bills and sent everything out. Everything out. And now they can't even barely eat. You're talking about a top-notch country, Haiti was. Sad. Wrote laws that he said he wouldn't like. Right. Told us he understood about some certain things. He understood, all right, wrote a law, talking about he wasn't going to do a law, some certain law that it was a law, or I can't remember what it was. But he told him, I understood. He had a conference with Black folk and I understand, blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to do this, and turn around and wrote that law. That's how them devils do you. They don't care about you. They don't care about you Black folk. I wish we would understand that. Pull away and stop supporting them. Support your own. Support your own. Support your own. Let's not even talk about the Jim Crow laws. Black farmers have lawsuits. I think they just won, but they 1997, the Black Farmers sued United States, right? USDA sued them, had a lawsuit, discrimination. They won, settled with $2 billion. One family won $7 million, okay, because they had their stuff together, paperwork and everything. But a lot of those farmers still never got money. They were still waiting to get their money. Still had not gotten their money. I'm just saying. We have to understand this, you guys. It is so imperative for us to know our history. And a lot of Black folk don't know our history. We have to go over our history. Yes, Haiti in Africa is not getting the Rona either. It's South Africa where a lot of the white folks that's getting the Rona bad. Okay. But South Africa, period, it's not a whole lot of them dying. Madagascar has a drink. And they have a drink. It's called the COVID Organic, and it's a drink. And it's a lot of Madagascar people have not, and they wouldn't even let them pass it out because it's coming from Africa. So the USDA, the FDA would not even approve it because it came from Africa. But it was a good drink. Nobody's gotten sick. Nobody's died since they've been drinking it, and they drink it every day, and they give it to their students and everybody. So I'm just saying, my thing is we have to understand what's really going on and get it together. I mean, think back on this land ownership, and land owning land was power back in the day. That's power. That's money. That's your wealth right there, Black family. And some of them was given that way, or it was taken by bad deals, and they was continued on the crop. And when you getting bad seeds, when you getting seeds that they knew was not even seeds. I don't know what the heck it was, but they didn't bring forth fruit or bring forth a crop. Then you put money on your, well, I'm gonna pay you with the crop that's coming up, and no crop come up, so they take your land. This is how dirty these devils is. People don't understand. When you learn your history, you'll think twice about sitting in that chair, because people who have never done anything for you, never, not even doing nothing for you, won't even put police officers in jail, won't even make laws to protect you, and they want to give you something. Talking about my brother and sister, Dr. that Fauci man, Dr. Fauci, talking about my Black brothers and sisters. What the devil? What in the world? Well, you were your Black brothers and sisters, but you was in charge of Ebola. You was in charge of HIV. You created it. But now we your Black brothers and sisters. When a cracker start talking like that, y'all better look at them devils and be like, what you up to? Now that's who you should be looking sideways at, the Dr. Fauci. But we won't look at them like that. Yes, sir, master. What can we do? What can we do for your master? That's what we do. They looking at us and they say, we got you. We brothers and sisters. And you go, oh my God, they acknowledging us. We brothers and sisters now. Oh my goodness, look at him. But your real brother, you'll leave him high and dry. You'll get that devil, Fauci, a pass, but not Grandmaster, right? You won't get him a pass, but you give Dr. Fauci a pass. Okay. All right. All right. Go ahead. Go right ahead. I'm not understanding that, but whatever. I look at the different types of laws, that these are people that have authority over us, and how they said, I remember one time they said, because if you commit a crime and somebody dies, then everybody involved will get charged, right? That didn't happen. We just had a case where, and I think about it the last time I was on, we had a case where it was four kids, the white girl with the boyfriend, and the boyfriend ended up running over the old boyfriend's mom and killing her. Well, only the one got charged and the other ones got misdemeanor charges. I'm just saying. But they said once, if you commit a crime and somebody dies, then all four should have gotten charged. No, just like Kyle Rittenhouse, he should be charged. His mama and his family should be charged for giving him the gun. The little thug terrorist, okay, that shot two protesters. I'm just saying. I digress. I'm just saying, you guys, we have to understand what's really going on. And we have to protect each other, because if we don't protect one another, we're not going to make it. And Grandmaster deserves our protection. Every person that has a channel should be singing to the hills about racism in America. We need to shine light on racism in America. They didn't kill this brother, thank God, but they showed talking about 20 years. So that sure is an agent, huh? I'm just saying. He does have a GoFundMe. I hope you guys are supporting the Grandmaster Legal Defense. Okay. And it is GoFundMe, and it's only by Rosemary Parker. I think that's her name. Because excuse me, I think it's two of them out there. I'm sorry. I think it's two of them out there, but make sure it's the one by Rosemary Parker. Let's support our brother. When this thug Rittenhouse, they had the church. They gave this dude $2 million. The church. That's why Christianity, them devils can't say nothing to me. I will eat them down, tear them down and spit them out. They couldn't say nothing to me. They supported a white supremacy. They are white supremacy. They are the devil. Christianity is the devil. And they supporting this Kyle person. But we can't support our brother. Shame on you. Shame, shame, shame. But your government has done the worst to Black people. And these are people in power that create laws to harm us, to hurt us, to break us down. They want you to sit down and shut up. I can treat you any kind of way and you ain't got nothing to say. But you do what you need to do. You keep your candy bars. You get you a legal candy bar, and I guarantee you they'll leave you alone. I guarantee you become a citizen then. Until you do what you need to do, because this air is so toxic right now, and you're gonna need something, then you'll be considered a citizen. Then you'll be treated with respect. Until you do what you need to do, and I still believe that I want to do a show on a heritage. You got to claim a heritage. Black is not a heritage. Until we do that, that's why they see us as property. That's why we've not gotten reparations. We can't get reparations. Black can't get reparations, not nationality. If you were Indians, which some of us are, Jews, they got reparations. Indians, Asians, they got reparations because they're a country. Black is not a country. I'm just saying. Oh yeah. Yes. Fauci is. Yes. Yes. He is totally behind it. He just when Ebola, they had Ebola. Remember Ebola was here, and HIV. Okay, they just sterilized like 500,000 women in Africa. I'm just saying, but every time they try to come against us, yeah, it comes against them, don't they? So guess who can't have babies now themselves? They can't. But the sad part it is they're using us and our men, and they're using Black people, and we're helping them to create our grandchildren's oppressors. Think about that. These white men having babies with these white women, and these white Black women having babies with these white men. You are creating your future grandchildren's oppressors. Just think about that. They need you to survive. They can't, they're not having, their birth rate this year is the lowest ever. They're not able to have babies. They're not reproducing. They're not reproducing, family. And it's going to take us thinking about, stop dating these devils. Stop dating these little demons. Stop dating them. They're dysfunctional. You're leaving a 10, which is a Black woman, going to a dysfunctional white woman. Very depressed, dysfunctional, that everybody didn't slept with. The mama, the daddy, the granddaddy, the uncle, the cousin, and the brother has slept with that one child. I'm just saying, this is their culture. This is their culture. You may get mad, I don't care. Doesn't matter. It's true. They need you to survive. So we need to get on here and like and share, you guys. Like and share, hit the bell, like and share, thumbs up, and all that great stuff. Like and share. I should have said that a long time ago. Just like and share. Let's get the likes up. Because I think other people need to hear racism in America. We want to put them on blast. It's time for us to put them on blast. Let's put them on blast. Everybody should be talking about racism in America on their platforms. Everybody, put them on blast, because it is time for America to talk about this topic. And until we put them on blast, they are not going to talk about anything. They talk about it every now and again. They talk about it every now and again, but it's time for some real talk on it. Real talk on racism in America. I did not want to stay on here all day. I just wanted to come on and do my little live and just bring some stuff. But we're gonna have some really good, pretty good comments or conversations coming up in the next few weeks. Oh, this is just one. Okay. This is just one. We got a few more lined up. And I hope you guys will join us, because we are blasting out America. I'm sick of what I'm seeing, and I'm tired of seeing it. And it's time for stuff to hit the fan. It's time for it to cease. It's time for us to defund and dismantle the police. And that needs to be a topic that we're talking about. It's time for us to get reparations so we can go and get our own. And I'm telling you, I will not be investing in America or nothing. I'm just saying. It's not worth a dime for me to invest in America, anything. But I hope you guys have been stocking up on your water, get your generators, get your non-perishable foods. Patriot has some food. I hope you're getting ready for what's coming, because we're getting ready to get into some. And I hope you're learning. You got some friends around that somebody got some perishables, non-perishables. Somebody got some water. Somebody got some chicken. Somebody got some deer meat in the freezer. Or don't do the freezer meat. I'm just saying, somebody got some stuff. You can do deer meat. You can do a house or something. You don't even have to put it in the freezer, right? But we gotta do better. We got to do this. It's time. everybody come on together and be able to support each other for what's coming. Family, I'm so glad that you guys joined me. I'm gonna get out of here and do some other things. And I appreciate everybody that joined me. Blog Talk, thank you so much. Let's get the numbers up, and I do appreciate the numbers on Blog Talk. I'm trying to switch it up a little bit. We're gonna dig into some very controversial conversations. Okay, time to be had. But with that said, family, thank you so much for joining me, and have an amazing rest of your day, and be safe out there. Peace, family.